I came home early, 'cause my stomach was off. Hot, sharp cramps twisting my insides like someone was wringing out my guts with both hands. Should have known the universe was trying to warn me. Looking back, it's almost funny, my body sensing the betrayal before my brain could catch up. The universe's twisted way of saying, brace yourself, motherfucker. You're about to get gutted worse than any stomach bug could manage. The house was quiet. Too quiet. Our neighborhood's always been the kind where you hear everything, kids screaming, dogs barking, lawnmowers growling. But that afternoon, nothing. Just the sound of my keys hitting the bowl by the door and my briefcase thudding against the hardwood. And something else. Something faint. Rhythmic. Coming from upstairs. I told myself it was nothing. Maybe Karen left the TV on in the bedroom. Maybe it was the neighbors. Maybe I was imagining things because my stomach was turning my brain inside out. But I wasn't imagining shit. The second I opened the bedroom door, my soul damn near crawled out of my body. There she was, my wife, naked, spread out on the bed like a scene from a freak show, tied in some twisted red shibari setup, gag in her mouth, moaning through her nose. Our wedding picture staring down from the dresser. Our anniversary flowers wilting on the nightstand. And him? Some half-naked twig of a man sitting in my armchair, my fucking armchair, playing with himself like he was at a damn theater. I stood there, lungs frozen, bile rising in my throat. Karen's eyes locked with mine, bulging wide with panic. The moans stopped. The thrashing started. The guy hadn't noticed me yet, too busy jerking himself off to my wife's trussed-up body. I froze. For 2 seconds. Maybe 3. The kind of seconds that stretch into hours when your brain can't process what your eyes are showing you. 15 years of marriage flashed before me, our first date, the proposal, the wedding, the house we saved years for, all of it reduced to this pathetic, grotesque display. Then my eyes locked on the unused coil of rope still sitting by the bed. Red as blood. Red as the heat rushing through my veins. I grabbed it without thinking, the nylon rough against my palm. He looked up then, wide-eyed, dick in hand. I swear I could hear his soul squeak. His face went from aroused to terrified so fast it was almost comical. Almost. Move and I'll decorate the room with your regrets, I said, voice coming from somewhere outside myself, cold and flat as ice on a lake. My hand tightened around the rope, knuckles white, veins standing out like electrical wires about to short-circuit. And he bolted, damn near fell trying to pull his pants up. Skinny legs tangling in his boxers, his belt jingling like alarm bells. He banged his shin against the edge of the bed, cursed, stumbled toward the door. I could have caught him. Could have wrapped that rope around his throat and watched his eyes bug out. Could have beaten him until his face was as red as that goddamn rope. But I didn't. I let him run. Because this wasn't just about him. My wife was squirming, gagged, helpless, exposed. The complex knots crisscrossed her body in patterns I'd never seen before, certainly nothing I'd ever done to her. They pressed into her flesh, creating red valleys and ridges across her skin. Our skin. The skin I thought belonged to us. I stood over her, watching her writhe. She couldn't speak through the gag, but her eyes were screaming, fear, shame, pleading. I reached down, slowly, deliberately, and pulled the gag out of her mouth. She started babbling excuses like her mouth was full of poison. David, please, this isn't, it's not, I can explain, it was just an experiment, it didn't mean anything. I didn't say a word. Just watched her flail against the ropes that bound her wrists to our headboard, her ankles to the bedposts. The bed where we'd slept together for 12 years. The bed where we tried for kids that never came. The bed she'd just turned into a stage for her betrayal. I found a pair of scissors in the nightstand drawer and began cutting her free. Not untying, cutting. Those ropes were never going to touch our skin again. Each snip felt like cutting away a piece of our marriage, revealing the rot underneath. "David, say something," she sobbed as the last rope fell away. "Please, just say something. Hit me, scream at me, anything." I tossed the scissors onto the bed next to her naked body. "Pack your shit," I said. Just 3 words. My voice sounded strange in my ears, too calm, too controlled. Like it belonged to someone else. She thought I was calm. She had no idea. While she scrambled to cover herself, crying and begging and spinning tales about how it was just this one time, and how it didn't mean anything, and how we can fix this, I was already digging. My hands didn't shake as I picked up her phone from the nightstand. She hadn't even bothered to lock it. Arrogance or stupidity? Didn't matter. I scrolled through her messages. Found his name. Adam. Fucking Adam with his fucking rope and his fucking techniques. I found photos she'd sent him. Videos. Messages so explicit they made my stomach heave worse than before. Messages dated back 6 months. 6. Fucking. Months. Found his full name in her phone. Adam Westfield. Matched him to a business website. Turns out he ran online coaching sessions about mindfulness and masculinity. Had a whole Instagram dedicated to his spiritual journey and authentic manhood. Had testimonials from clients who praised his life-changing guidance and powerful presence. Had a fucking wife. I took screenshots. Dozens. Every filthy photo, every moan she sent, every selfie with those red ropes. Every message where she told him how much better he was than me. Every plan they made to meet in our bed while I was at work. I created a full report, titled, "How Your Mindfulness Coach Gets Off on Binding Married Women." Karen was still babbling, throwing clothes into a suitcase, mascara streaking down her face like black tears. I tuned her out. My fingers moved methodically across my phone screen, crop, save, attach, send. Sent it to every client email address I could find on his website. Sent it to his landlord, whose information was listed on a rental agreement Karen had photographed on his kitchen counter. Sent it to his meditation group. Sent it to his wife. His Instagram disappeared the next day. Then his website. Then his coaching business. Good. Then I turned to her. Karen spent the night at her sister's. Came back the next day, thinking we'd talk it through. Thinking we'd work on our issues. Thinking she could salvage what she'd destroyed. I let her think that. Let her believe I was processing, healing, considering forgiveness. Meanwhile, I was planning. She had a girls' trip scheduled for the following weekend. 5 days in Miami with her college friends, the same friends she'd been lying to about our troubled marriage for months, according to her text messages. The same friends who'd been encouraging her to live a little and explore her options. I booked her flights. First class. Paid for her hotel upgrade. Told her I needed space to think, and that the trip would be good for both of us. She was relieved. Grateful, even. Started packing her skimpiest outfits, her new lingerie, probably bought for him. What she didn't know was that I made sure her friends found a surprise Dropbox folder in their email inboxes the night before departure. The folder contained her finest shibari performances. The ones she claimed were just for us. The ones she'd been sending to Adam for months. Along with screenshots of every message where she trashed her friends behind their backs, calling Melissa a desperate slut, mocking Jennifer's weight gain, laughing about Rebecca's failing marriage. Half of them blocked her by morning. The other half reposted them. By the time her plane landed in Miami, her phone was blowing up with messages from people who'd seen the photos. Friends. Co-workers. Family members. Her boss. She lost everything, her man, her image, her control. Her job, too, after her boss discovered she'd been using company time to sext with her mindfulness coach. Her family barely speaks to her now. Her friends are gone. Her reputation is in tatters. And me? I didn't raise a hand. I didn't have to. I changed the locks while she was in Miami. Boxed up her things and left them with her sister. Filed for divorce the same day, citing infidelity with photographic evidence attached. No judge in the world would side with her. I kept our house. Our car. Our bank accounts. She didn't contest any of it, couldn't, with the evidence I had. Last I heard, she was living in a studio apartment across town, working retail, starting over from scratch at 42. Sometimes I drive by. Not to see her. Just to remind myself what betrayal looks like when it's stripped bare. As for the rope, I wrapped that clean red coil back into a perfect circle, and hung it by the door as a reminder, don't tie yourself to lies you can't wriggle out of. It's been 8 months now. I sleep fine in our bed. I sit comfortably in my armchair. I've repainted the bedroom, replaced the mattress, purged the house of her. But I keep that rope hanging there, a crimson warning sign. People ask if I'm dating again. If I'm moving on. If I'm healing. I just smile and say I'm focusing on myself. What I don't tell them is that I don't need to heal because I never let myself break. I cut out the cancer before it could spread. Karen called last week. Drunk, sobbing, saying she misses me. Saying she made a mistake. Saying she's changed. I listened until she ran out of words. Then I told her the truth, you didn't make a mistake. You made a choice. Every time you messaged him. Every time you invited him into our bed. Every time you tied yourself up for him. Choices have consequences. I hung up before she could respond. Blocked her number. Blocked her email. Blocked every possible way she could reach me. Some people say revenge doesn't solve anything. That it doesn't bring closure or peace. Those people have never watched someone who destroyed them lose everything they value. Those people have never felt the cold satisfaction of balanced scales. I don't feel angry anymore. I don't feel sad. I don't feel much of anything when I think about Karen or Adam or the life I thought we had. Just a distant, clinical appreciation for justice served. The rope still hangs by my door. Red as blood. Red as betrayal. Red as revenge. I keep it there to remind myself and anyone who enters, some knots can't be untied. Some bonds, once broken, stay broken. Some betrayals can only be answered with destruction. And that's fine by me.